Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my first round of my Crimson Invasion set review. We're going to be looking at the Ultra Beast for this set. Probably the most hype part about the set, something I've definitely been waiting for since we knew we were going to be getting Sun and Moon sets. I always was curious about how they were going to incorporate the Ultra Beast. And here they are, so let's get into it. The first one we're going to look at is Buzzwole GX. So Buzzwole GX is a 190 HP fighting basic Pokemon, Ultra Beast. It has weakness to Psychic and no resistance, retreat cost of 2. For 1 fighting, you can Jet Punch for 30 damage. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. For 3 fighting, you can Knuckle Impact for 160 damage. This Pokemon can attack during your next turn. And for 3 fighting, Absorption GX, 40 damage times. This attack does 40 damage for each of your remaining prize cards. Now, if you look up at the corner of Buzzwole GX, you will see that it has an Ultra Beast designator. We've seen this in the past with cards such as Team Plasma, Team Galactic, the Elite Four members had this. Team Rocket's Pokemon had this back in EX Team Rocket Returns. So this is going to allow for them to be able to print cards such as trainers and then maybe even Pokemon stadiums that interact with Ultra Beast cards. So I definitely think we should expect a stadium for the place where they come from, as well as probably a Beast Ball card that will allow you to fetch these out of your deck. Now, as far as Buzzwole as a card, a lot of people are comparing him to Landorus EX, and Landorus EX was a powerhouse when it was first printed. However, it's not really as good as it used to be. It's kind of been crept out. Hammerhead and Jet Punch are basically the same attack. However, Buzzwole is effectively a better card than Landorus EX, so there's hope in that regard. However, weakness to Psychic is something you definitely don't want to have right now with Garbodor running around, so whether or not it's going to be standard or expanded playable, that's still left to see. However, Buzzwole, a lot of people do like him. I mean, he's so cool looking. People are definitely going to test him out. So, moving along, we have Guzzlord GX. Guzzlord is a 210 HP Dark type basic Ultra Beast. It has weakness to Fighting, resistance to Psychic, and a retreat cost of 4. For 1 Dark, you can Eat Sloppily, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If any of those cards are energy cards, attach them to this Pokemon. For 3 Dark and 2 colorless, you can Tyrannical Hole for 180 damage. And for 5 Dark, you can Glutton GX, 100 damage. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, take 2 more prize cards. Well, holy mother God. Yeah, so that Glutton GX attack is pretty good. We've seen attacks like this in the past with cards such as Umbreon EX, which can basically take 2 prizes if it knocks out a Mega Pokemon with in-game. However, Guzzlord's attack is so much better. It does 100 damage, which is more than in-game, and it's any Pokemon that is knocked out, you take 2 more. So if you would knock out an EX Pokemon with Glutton GX, or a GX Pokemon with Glutton GX, then you are taking 4 prizes. That is unheard of. And we're starting to see this trend with the Ultra Beasts, that they all have something to do with prize cards. Their GX attacks, at least, they have something to do with prize cards. So I think that's an interesting idea that they've started to do. And I really like these because they're allowing the creators of this game to get more creative with the card design, which I definitely feel is lacking, and I'm going to do a video on that later. However, as far as Guzzlord, I like that it can accelerate itself. Tyrannical Hole and Glutton GX, they really don't, the attack costs don't really blend because you kind of don't want to DCE in 3 Dark on this thing because you want to be able to Glutton GX, but Eat Sloppily with a deck built around it, I think it could do a lot of work. Weakness to Fighting. Fighting is not a popular type right now in Standard or really expanded. The only fighting Pokemon that is really played like that is Gallade, and Gallade definitely can knock this out in 1 shot, but I think it would be worth the risk to play Guzzlord. I mean, listen, you can attach a Fighting Fury Belt to this thing and put it at 250 HP, plus Tyrannical Hole will be hitting for 190, and it doesn't have that clause on it that it can't hit with Tyrannical Hole during the next turn, so knocking this thing out is going to be a pain. However, having 5 energy cards on you really punishes you because with Gardevoir, If they have one fairy on them and you have 5 energy on yourself, that's already 6 times. That's already base 180. So Gardevoir isn't knocking you out at that point, but it's not going to be that hard for Gardevoir to accelerate to the point where it knocks you out. Now, if Gardevoir wasn't around, I think Guzzlord would probably be one of the best we've had spoiled so far, even though its attack cost is so high. However, with Gardevoir lurking around, I'm not so sure how good this is going to be, but definitely a good card. Next one we're going to look at is Nihilego. I love this one. Alright, so Nihilego GX. It is a Psychic type basic Pokemon with HP 180. Ultra Beast. Has weakness to Psychic, no resistance, and a retreat of 2. Ability Nihilistic Light. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench, both active Pokemon are now poisoned and confused. Lock up for 3 Psychic, 120 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon can't retreat during their next turn. And finally, Parasite GX for 3 Psychic. Add the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck to their prize cards. Well, welcome back, Dialga and Palkia Legend. Yes, we have seen this type of attack before on Pokemon such as Dialga and Palkia Legend. And yeah. This was a fun card to play with. Not very competitive, but nevertheless, very fun card to play with. And you can keep using Palkia and Dialga Legend, but with Nihilego, you can't continuously use it. So that's a bummer. However, it is a pretty good card. Confusion is not something that commonly happens, but it is something that is very annoying, as we've seen with Espeon GX in the current format. Being a very, very good card, being able to confuse your opponent. So being able to put down Nihilego and just confuse and poison, that's going to be very good. This is, I think, also can be very, very good in Expanded, where we have Burbank City as well as Seviper and Seismitoad. You can just literally bench this guy, confuse your opponent's active and poison it, and then, you know, basically Quaking Punch. Now it does do both Pokemon, and I think that is that's something to pay attention to. But in Expanded, you have things such as Keldeo to offset this in other things. Now in Standard, people are talking about playing this with Muck GX using the Chemical Breath. So if you use this plus Muck, Chemical Breath is automatically at a base of 150. And then with the Poison, they go up to about 160. Tri-Hazard doesn't really work in conjunction with this. Well, I mean, you could Tri-Hazard them and then confuse them on the next turn, I guess. I think it will be a fun, kind of roguish deck to take to your local league, but I don't think it's going to be that competitive. But Nihilego, definitely a Pokemon that is really, really good. And you can play with things such as Tapu Koko, the promo, which has free retreat. You know, move up your Tapu Koko, use your Nihilego, and then retreat. So I think this card is going to be very useful. I think that we will find use for it. Being a basic with that ability, how can you not see play? Alright, and the final card, I think the most hype card we're going to look at here is going to be Kartana. So Kartana is a basic Pokemon Ultra Beast, and it has Metal, 170 HP, and it has weakness to fire, resistance to psychic, and a 1 retreat cost. Ability Cut Down. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench, you may discard a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon, and then Gale Sword for 1 metal, 2 colorless, 70 damage. You may shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached into your deck, and then Metal Blade GX for 1 metal, take one of your prize cards. This is probably the best card we have seen, and I already have Metagross, the 2 things that make this important. So just like this is already a good card. Here's what we're going to play with it. Metagross, you're always going to want to play at least 1 copy of this in your Metagross deck. It is just too good not to. The thing is that Metagross has a good GX attack as well, but quite frankly, you don't always algorithm with that deck, and a lot of people have added Necrozma to Metagross, so algorithm has become less important, and this is just a game ender. you could take the prize at any time in the game. If you don't have anything to do, you can just send this up and take a prize and progress your game state. And I think in any deck that you are playing rainbow energy, you want to play this. Any deck that you can produce metal energy, you're going to want to play this card. In addition, cut down, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench, you can discard a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Are you kidding me? So this card can effectively turn your super scoop up heads into enhanced hammers. It's basically also a enhanced hammer on legs. So if you can pick it up with cards such as Acerola, scoop up Cyclone, super scoop up AZ, turns your AZ into enhanced hammers. This card is amazing, and I think it's going to definitely see play and expand it, and it's going to see play in standard, and it will definitely change the way certain decks are built, make a lot of decks stronger. I can see Toad becoming a lot, those disruption decks such as Trev and Toad becoming stronger. However, this does disrupt them as well. Special energy are a big deal in our format. DCE has been around since Heart Gold Soul Silver is when they reprinted it, and it's been around ever since. So this card is definitely good, probably the best one we've seen so far. However, we still have some more to go. So the ones that we have left are Xurkitree, Pheromosa, and I believe Celesteela. Xurkitree, Pheromosa, Celesteela, and there might be one more. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm so excited about the Ultra Beasts. I hope you are too. Have a nice day.